would like to welcome you to the board session for the September 19th POA board meeting. And rules, the first item up is Rules and Regulations Committee. Recommendation change to Article 10, Section 2. This will be the second reading. Any discussion on that?
Just to repeat this, I'm sure we're aware of this, but this change, if enacted by the board and there's a second reading, will go into effect before the assessment vote and would prevent current and future boards from voting POA on lots, which are at 80 lots at this point. So this would have to be voted upon by the board at next week's meeting to ensure that the policy is in place.
And this is the second reading, so therefore we go into place after the reading, or after the vote. Excellent.
The board wanted to have a discussion regarding the granting of 3 minutes to from one property owner to another. Currently, policy 1.07 reads that each member is entitled to 3 minutes maximum. It does not have any provision of granting additional minutes for one person to the next. But the board wanted to have a discussion regarding the merits of that idea.
Discussion.
Tom, does the governments or bylaws say you can't grant somebody else another, you can't give somebody else the floor for your 3 minutes?
The board can extend, but it does not. A member is given 3 minutes, and then that's how the current policy reads. You have 3 minutes.
Just from my point, I'm not in favor of allowing somebody to give somebody else their 3 minutes. It happens eventually. We can grant time for an extended period of time. If you did that, somebody could get up here and filibuster, and you could have 20 people standing in here. They could all give them their 3 minutes, and you stand there and talk for an hour.
That's correct.
Maybe that's a little extreme way of reading it, but it could happen. And I don't think that's what we want to happen. Make it point 3 minutes. Come back to this.
Yeah, I'll agree with that assessment. I think 3 minutes is sufficient. And as we continue forward and enforce the 3-minute rule, I feel that the membership will understand. They will put their comments in order, and they will say them in 3 minutes. And we all observed how some of the speakers get wandering around with this and that and background information. We just need to hear what is the position, and we go from there. So I think 3 minutes is sufficient, and the membership will adapt, and they'll learn to be a little more concise.
Jerry?
Yeah, I have to think about it. Do we have the ability, if it's an emotional or a hot topic that's being discussed, to extend that person's time?
Yeah, the board does have that authority to grant additional time.
I agree with the 3 minutes, because it can, a lot of people will take 3 minutes just to get their thoughts in order as they get up, even though they knew they were coming. But, and then when you get in a hot topic item or emotional time, I think we owe our membership the courtesy of giving them a few extra minutes if we need to. Depends on the deal. Not everyone, and I agree with David, I don't think you should give each other minutes. That could get just crazy. But give the courtesy sometimes to throw it out there that, finish your point, we'll give you another minute if that's what it takes. It doesn't have to be 5 or 6. And if we put the timer up there, I think that would help a whole lot too.
Yeah, I agree with the concept of if there is a hot topic, emotional, that the chair is allowed to extend their time.
My only question there is, I understand there's some topics hotter than others and more relevant than others, we feel they are anyway. It's kind of a discretion as to your topic is more important than your topic, and so therefore we're going to allow you more time. I definitely agree with the fact of not giving your minutes to anybody else, but, and I think that probably it will be evident when the time comes that more time needs to be given. If it's well organized, thought out, to the point, and a minute left or something like that, that seems to be okay. But when, part of our problem is not right to the point when they start. And so I think they're taking up time that way instead, so. Anyone else?
And I'll remind everybody that the city has a similar setup with 3 minutes, so it's not that we're going out on a limb.
And we've done it that way for years. I have a memo here from Steve McKee. I motion that we leave the policy unchanged, and very briefly, the reason is because the policy is written, has already addressed the potential granting of time from one member to another. It does not allow it. The policy reads that each member normally may speak for a maximum of 3 minutes. So if that's your maximum, that's your maximum. It's not handled to somebody else.
Yeah, but the normally in that sentence
Gives a lot.
implies like more. And yeah, there's probably, if you do allow someone to speak for say 5 minutes, there's going to be some contest about that by other people and that had to stop at 3 minutes.
I think we just need to be careful about being fair. We can't grant additional minutes to someone that is in favor of a proposal that the board is promoting, where you hold another person that's against the proposal, you hold that person to 3 minutes. I think you're going to be very careful that you are administer it in a fair manner across the board.
Other comments? My understanding, go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, with this, will this be presented at the regular board meeting as well, or did we sufficiently trash it to get rid of it? Or leave it as is, I should say, if possible.
It's at the discretion of the board if they want to discuss it further at the next meeting, but this is a work session where the board has worked through an issue and covered it sufficiently. And since you're not making a change to the policy, you definitely have the option of not bringing it back up because it has been covered. You're not, if it was a change to the policy, that may be, you know, it would have to go further, but since you're not changing the policy, the board could just let the issue rest at this time.
Jerry, being head of rules and regs, are you comfortable with that?
Yeah, I don't see any reason to change the current policy. Seems pretty fair to everyone the way it's written currently. I don't like that there's so much of the operational or procedural items within the policy that I don't think that's something that we should change at the present time.
Ruth?
Yes.
Maybe we just, at the regular meeting next week, we just make a comment that we talked about it during the work session and it was pretty much general agreement that we're just going to leave the policy as it is and just reiterate that we feel that 3 minutes is sufficient.
Tia, we have 8 people who kind of weighed in on this. Do you want to weigh on this for us?
Yes, I like what David just said, and it's very important that I think at the general session, we just make the comment that we have all agreed that giving time to other members is not going to be allowed. I know that's the issue that was kind of tricky. The 3 minutes is great, keeping it the way it is, but we do need to state we will not allow people to give their time to another member.
So it appears to be unanimous. So I would say that other than a mention for next week, that takes care of it, so. Okay.
Next up on the 2020 campaign, at this time, Tammy has scheduled 62 speaking engagements for myself. Given 29, I have 3 today. So we'll finally get over the 50% mark, which I'm looking forward to. We have 227 residents have volunteered for the Get Out to Vote calling campaign. That will they'll physically start calling on on Monday, this coming Monday, and we've had 935 people attend the meetings. So we'll keep on beating the drum. We'll let you know, we'll keep giving you updates on how things go.
They're pretty going very well.
My compliments to Ruth. She has, at this point, heard me give my speech 28 out of 29 times, 27 out of 29 times, so, and the jokes don't get better.
They don't get better. I was hoping that something would happen, but they don't get better.
How did we manage to get that many people, excuse me, for the phone bank?
What we've been doing is,
People and-
we've been bringing sign-up sheets to every meeting and encouraging people and reminding them that we're just asking them to vote. We're not telling them to vote yes, we're telling them to vote. And we pick up 6, 7 people per meeting, times 29, you get to 227.
I think one of the main issues is he talks very strongly about an hour of your time, 2 hours of your time max. And so they're not committed to a week's time worth of calling. It's an hour. Give us an hour. And people know.
And it'll be, the script will be laminated, it's simple, and the majority of the time, 60% of the time, you get voicemail anyways. So you just reiterate, you just state what's on the sheet. So it's pretty straightforward. But getting out the vote, having the community speak is important.
I know, I think it's somebody from member services is calling and making appointments.
Correct. So Tammy and Member Services work together. They have a sheet, an online sheet, and where everything is categorized. You know, where they're going to speak and so forth. So they're getting that all organized and all the spaces filled up.
That all will be done from here, right?
It'll all be done from this room. There will be a couple times where we'll move the phones to the middle and we'll have a meeting, so forth. But the majority of the time, we're really not going to interrupt too many meetings or so forth. We may have to move a couple meetings down to the Vista room, but that's not that big of an inconvenience. And we end up using all the phones anyways.
It's pretty amazing, the numbers.
Yeah, our goal right now is to get 300 volunteers. The more we call, the more turnout, and I think everybody would agree. If we can get enough, so we have a quorum on the first vote. One vote, be done with it. It costs us $40,000 each time. If we have to go back out again because we didn't hit quorum, that's another $40,000. And just soon get it done once.
Jim?
Just from a humorous standpoint, I have gotten a couple of objections to our 2020 plan, and they're kind of contradictory. One of them said, I'm not golfing here if this plan happens because your dress code for golf is too strict. And the other contradictory one, I'm not going to eat at this restored fancy restaurant anymore because when we moved here in 1980, it was coat and tie.
This fancy restaurant.
Can't win.
There have been people that have brought up different things that they don't like this about the plan, or they don't like that about the plan. We have 39,000 property owners. There is no perfect plan for all 39,000. The good news is that when people say, I don't like this part, I don't like this part, they're not stating the same thing over and over again. It's different things. And that tells us that we got pretty close, about as close as you're going to get for 29,000 different people. Or at least property owners.
Any other questions? Yes, David?
Yeah, I would, judging by the turnout that we're getting, the comments that I'm hearing, as Tom said, there are people that say, well, overall, it's about time, this is a really great plan, but, and they point to this, or they point to that, or they say, I want you to do this, I want you to do that. we're not going to please everybody, and I hope that the people who have objections will understand that this plan is vitally important to make Bella Vista move forward, continue to be in existence, and go into the future. I hope that they can understand that they need to vote for it, even though there may be personal objections to this, that, or one other item. But I hope that they're mature enough to understand that this is our village that we're voting to keep.
It's for a positive future. It's basically what it boils down to. Any other comments regarding the 2020 plan? If not, open forum at this time, and as you've heard, it's limited to 3 minutes. Go ahead.
I can do this in a minute.
Okay.
Okay. This is just a positive comment. It's not a question so much, but I was so proud to see in the Vista this week 4, I believe, very, very positive, reasonable, well thought out reasons to vote yes. So that's all I wanted to say is, in spite of the fact that a lot of these people don't speak up, we're out there.
Thank you. Linda? Oh, I forgot. JB, we need to ask for your name. And your lot.
J.B. Portello, 3 Kirk Circle. I don't know what my lot is. I think it's 12 and 13.
It's fine, thank you.
I'm Linda Lloyd, 102 Fairway Drive. Some of you who have played Brittany know that I have put a bench out at the end of my property in the shade for people to sit on who are golfing or walking. I put the first vote yes sign up on that bench and it disappeared in 24 hours. I put the second one up and I screwed it with screws and washers to the bench. It lasted a week and it was ripped out, which is hard to do. So I now have a third one up on that bench with 6 sets of screws and washers. So far it's been there 2 days, but I shall persevere. Thank you.
Hopefully it's somebody that's borrowing that to put in front of their yard to vote for
Well,
yes.
no, this the first one I put up with screws, they ripped it.
Oh, yeah, it might not work. Okay.
Well, I think that the point is, and I spoke with some employees yesterday, is respect for other people's opinion. You know, if you see a no, if you see a yes sign, respect that they're right to have that sign up. It's unnecessary to take the sign down. I don't think anybody's going to gain any votes one way or the other by having the sign removed, but to respect other people's opinions.
Ruth, just an interjection. It's a very, very important matter because in approximately 30 seconds, our calendar will say it is 9, 19, 19, 19. Isn't that important?
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I'll follow it.
Anyone else? Bruce?
Bruce Portello, 3 Kirk Circle. I just wanted to ask Tom. Tom, I understand that you've done some research or some investigation on other POAs and HOAs, either in the area or in the state, relative to making comparisons vis-a-vis ourselves. Are you at liberty to share that information, or would you share that information in general terms?
So I was at a conference. I toured several facilities. Two of them are former Cooper communities. And I would say, in my opinion, I wish that a lot of our property owners could have been with me on those tours to see that our amenities in most cases are better than other communities. And our customer service absolutely is better. I went into one pro shop. The apparel was 4 or 5 years old and dusty, and the gentleman behind the counter was watching the Golf Channel and didn't acknowledge my existence. I think that we're doing a very good job, and I wish, like I said, I wish those people could have been with me on the tour to see how good they have it here at Bella Vista. We have a special community, and I wish people, I hope people appreciate our community as much as I do.
What are their assessments?
I think you already know the answer to that question, Ruth. Our assessments are, for every community that I looked at, were dramatically less than every single one.
So we're doing much more, but much less, but we need more to move forward. Anyone else?
Just a comment, I want to follow up on what Tom said about our facilities here, not just our golf courses, but our facilities here. You guys know that I travel quite a bit, I get around. And when, what Leslie did with the Country Club Pro Shop and the other pro shops rivals many exclusive clubs around the country. And our pro shop here at Bella Vista, right here in this building, is the best pro shop in the state. Now, did we need to spend that money all at once to make it really pretty? Probably, maybe not, I don't know. We're selling stuff in there. Leslie sells a lot of stuff. She sells a lot to the ladies. My wife likes to go in there and have her shop. But it's something that a lot of other communities around the country don't have. Tom made a very good point that you walk into some of those places and the guy's sitting behind the counter on a bar stool on his ass watching television, and he doesn't care whether you're there or not. And we run our place properly here. Our employees are very nice and attentive to our residents' needs and wants, and they do their best to take care of it. Sometimes they get real busy doing that, but they do a good job here. We do a good job. We do it. It's at the direction of the board that the way these things happen. It's not because of the employees out there. We've got great employees. What Tom does is at the direction of the board, and we want that service throughout the community, and we want to keep it. And I think that's what's very important about this assessment too, is for us to be able to continue to do that. And as long as we continue to provide those amenities, and Lake Point and the Bar and Grill, those are amenities also. They're not just restaurants, those are amenities. Those are there for the convenience of our members. And if we don't keep all of those facilities up and in good shape, our property values will go down. I have no doubts in the world. If we lost 2 or 3 or 4 golf courses, if we couldn't maintain our golf course and had to close them, everybody's property value would go down. That's why this is so important, that we get this done, and I hope that our residents recognize that. It's very important for us to maintain this community the way we want it. Sorry, I got a little long-winded. Did I exceed my 3 minutes?
Any other open forum? Let's hit open forum first. Any other open forum? No? Okay, go ahead.
Just one somewhat related comment to Tom's topic. We had a vicious storm happen here a couple weeks ago, and the POA, had we still had streets, cost center, had we still had fire, police, emergency, we would be in a financial mess right now. And the city, who came into being in 2007, they were able to reseal so many more miles of streets than we ever were budgeted to do. And they also received a grant to help property owners pick up some of that debris along the streets. And I guess I'd like to applaud the fact that we have a city that has related cost centers, but they're able to get other funds that we're not able to, without going into their limitations on their millage and constitution.
Others, David?
Yeah. I'd like to reinforce what Dave Welchel said, that Bella Vista Village is primarily a service business. We're not in business to be profitable in the commercial sense. We are here to serve the membership and provide what they want as well as we're able. So we're in the service business, and by keeping these things up to snuff and getting them back to where they should have been all along, we're getting Bella Vista where it needs to be. But we need to keep moving forward because nothing ever stays the same.
Other comments? Other subjects to bring up? Tia, anything to bring up? Okay. Anybody else? If not, 2020 Plan Community Meeting is next Tuesday, September 24th at 6 o'clock at Worden Hall. The Board of Directors' regular meeting is Thursday of next week, the 26th, at 6 o'clock in the boardroom. We will be in the boardroom, we'll just push the phones back, okay? 2020 Plan Community Meeting is Tuesday, October 1st at 4 o'clock at Highlands Golf Course. Golfing questions Tuesday, October 8th at 10 o'clock at the boardroom at the Country Club. Board of Directors GM meeting is Thursday, October 10th at 4:30 in the boardroom, and this is a closed meeting. The Board of Directors work session is Thursday, October 17th at 9 o'clock in the boardroom, and the Board of Directors regular meeting for Thursday, October 24th at 6 o'clock in the boardroom at the Country Club. Anything else for the good of the cause? Just stand if you want. I just said for something.
First, I need to correct something. The city did not get a grant. We appropriated $350,000 from our budget for the storm phase.